It once again isn't live still, in case you were wondering.
Okay.
Yeah. See, like every time I...
Shouldn't it be...
What's up, fuckers? We're here with Ryan Riker.
Shut him up, you said.
Dude, every time I start it, it doesn't make any sense how it'll come up with a little message that says, you were about to go live. And I was sitting here and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because it wouldn't go live again. I was like, oh my God. And then I hit I opened another YouTube.
Right.
With the other YouTube still open. And it said, oh, you're live. And I was like, thanks.
Oh, no, God.
And I was like, oh, Jesus. Because y'all started to talk and I was like, shut up.
All right, well, great.
Anyway, we're here with Ryan Riker.
Hello, hello, hello.
He's a friend of my mother's from UPS, and also is he's been doing comedy for like 5 months now at the Caravan and other places. I know he's gone to like several festivals and done different types of comedy events. Watched him at the Caravan a couple times. Pretty fucking funny. But yeah, here's Ryan Riker if you want to introduce yourself.
Thank you. I am Ryan Riker. Can I plug a show? Is that cool? Really quick? Okay, I have 2 shows tomorrow. One is
Can I plug a show?
Yeah.
Can I advertise myself?
One of the shows is at the Louisville Art Sanctuary. You can find tickets at Eventbrite. And the other one is later that night at Cable Street Bar, which is above Butchertown Pizza. And then I have one on the 19th at 7 o'clock at H Street Pizza in New Albany.
Damn. See, like you do them like a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Nice job, Dylan.
Well,
Who are you watching?
Hey.
I'm just kidding. Watching a different podcast, huh?
This
I'm just
guy's
kidding.
Ryan Riker.
Yeah, he's on some stupid podcast. But no, that is a lot. Seriously though, like when I've only done it once. Still, Albie does it like. Albie doesn't do that much either. He does it like once a month, I'd say.
Probably.
But how many times do you do it?
That's
Like
reasonable.
probably 8 or 10.
Well, you
Jeez.
typically want to do open mics as much as you can. You know, there's open mic almost every day, except for like the weekends maybe. But it's mainly every day. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's
Right.
a mic around, and then you just keep showing your face around. You know, you keep getting good. People keep seeing you, and then you make friendships and bond, and then you just keep making people laugh, and then you know people ask you, hey, you know, I got a show, you want to be on it, and then it just goes from there.
And like I was telling him, like I kind of understood more like after listening to Rogan and Joey Diaz. Do you watch Joe Rogan or Joey Diaz?
I've seen some of his
They're
stuff.
so fucking funny. But I was watching more of them, and like I kind of get the gist of mics now. You kind of go over mics, see which ones get like laughs. Those are your best jokes, and eventually you'll have like a compilation of really good jokes, and you'll go present those. And I guess when you get to a special, if you got there, is that kind of what it is, or like an actual show? You kind of
Well, yeah, open mics are mainly to test out new stuff and to work on your old stuff. So like if you get a good, typically shows when you're starting out, you know, 3 to 5 minutes. So typically if you get a good 5-minute set and it's good, then I mean you use that in the shows while still going to open mics, still using that and doing new stuff. And then when you get new stuff with 5 minutes, then you can, you know, use that as your new material at shows.
How long? So, like your first ever time you went up and did live comedy, how long was your set?
Like an open mic or just like a show, like my first show.
Let's call it an open mic.
first time ever doing comedy. Like
3
first
minutes.
time.
It was at
3
the
minutes?
yeah, it was at the Caravan. Tyler Gooch was the host. He's now
Dude, he's now in like California.
he's
right?
now living up in L.A. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's doing like
Or
bigger
Par-
comedy now, right? Like open mics over there too.
Yeah.
Does he get paid to do that?
Open
know?
open mics you don't get paid.
Oh yeah, mics.
To
Does
do-
he get like? Does he land shows up there though?
I'm sure he does. Because
That's
I mean
kinda-
he was hilarious when he
Yeah.
was here. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I saw him a few times when I went up there. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tyler Gooch, yeah, perfect name to
Dude,
fit
with that
for.
kind of name, comedy's got to be the destiny.
The stars are the limit with that kind of name. But like, so when you're doing a show and you're trying to like analyze which jokes are good, how do you remember in the mid-show which jokes got laughs?
I cannot imagine trying to.
Yeah,
keep
when you're
track of all
done,
that.
how do you go? Okay, or unless do you like mostly have people record your shows and you look back at them?
Typically I would do a voice recorder on my shows. Well, I do voice recorder on my open mics. Now my shows, I might have someone recording, just to look at my mannerisms to see how I react. My facial expressions, the certain tidbits that I do, and then I will either like them, see how the audience laughs when I like move this way or say it like this, But typically, yeah, the audience does make or break a show, but you typically remember your funny jokes because people will come up to you and say, "Hey, that bit is funny. I love it when you do that bit."
Right.
So typically, okay, I got that bit, and then you do enough shows and you remember the bits that get laughs. Because once you get a good solid 5, that solid 5 is gonna laugh no matter what. Even if there's one person in the audience, that set's is just gonna kill. So it's not hard to remember. Well, for me, because I don't have that much of material. I don't have hours worth of material.
Right.
So I know what jokes are funny because I've been doing it, and which ones are funny. Now the only downside of that is when you go to open mics and you do the old stuff. Typically once they hear them once, twice, 3 times, they're not gonna laugh as much because they've already heard them.
Right.
So, but you typically know what is your funny stuff. You typically know
Kind of your go-to.
Yeah, you know it.
The jokes that'll stick, I guess.
Yeah. Now the only upside of that is when you go to a certain area and you see the audience. Let's say the audience is all black. Well, that's certain jokes might not work. Or they might not understand, or they might not get certain jokes, or even all white. They might not get certain jokes. Like I have stuff dealing with Kanye West. Well, in all white, average age 50, they're not gonna understand.
The older audience
They're not gonna laugh at that. So then you got plug and pull certain bits to replace certain bits to make sure that you get a good set.
Do you have Do you have any people that are legit fans? If you go up, they're I want to go see him go up. Of.
If I do, they haven't made themselves known.
Okay. Do you have any consistent people that you usually see at open mics, people that go there every week that kind of see you and talk to you? Or?
Yeah, typically now, we're people know who you are, or know who I am, and I know who they are. Right. I got a good buddy of mine who I met through comedy. His name is Charlie Walker, and he's hilarious.
Is he the piano dude?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ruin the bit.
Was that guy?
Yeah, but there's a bit that he does. It's his biggest one, and I was there for the first time I heard it, and he was I don't want to give away the joke because obviously you don't like doing that. But he was he asked some guy in the audience. He was like, "Hey man, who you here with?" Yeah. And in the back of the crowd, I looked over at a guy and said, "Your mom," but I didn't say it loud enough for it. What I'm talking about? He would have been what happens if someone does that? Your joke's about to come up and someone spoils it. You know what I'm saying?
That actually happened.
Oh God!
Not to me, but to another friend of mine. He was doing his bit. Actually, I had a guest spot last weekend, and he was the other guest spot, and he was, gonna say the punchline of his bit, and he says what he's gonna say, and then he pauses. And then he says the punchline. Well, the audience member said the punchline, and then he got dude, what the hell? You just killed my, So typically you don't want to ruin.
No. What would happen though if you're an audience member and didn't know you thought he was going somewhere else and just screamed it out, and the guy's just
I think you just shut your mouth. Just.
Don't say anything at all. Yeah.
Also, sure. If that does happen, you could always use crowd work to kind of play along with him. Shut him down, or he's not going to say anything else ever again. Or just poke fun. I've seen people have amazing,
that's what I would do.
Amazing crowd work. Eric Kimbrough has by far one of the amazing crowd works I've ever seen, and he's actually going to be at the Caravan next week, the 11th, 12th, and 13th. And I mean, you all should go out and see him because
Is he doing like actual like shows for like 3 days, like kind of thing, or like?
yeah.
Okay.
Bob Batch is going to be the headliner, and then Eric's going to be the feature, and he's just going to absolutely destroy because he's hilarious.
I know that. Well, first I'm gonna tell this first. There was I watched a video once on Mike Myers talking about doing like comedy in UK versus here, and out here when you're bombing, people here kind of like they're kind of like just sitting there uncomfortable. They're not really saying much. They're kind of just watching you go, and they're not laughing. All this different stuff. And Mike Myers said like in the UK or like where he's from, like in like England.
Right.
He said he would do stand up, and he'd be doing terrible. No one would be laughing. And one guy would go, "You're doing great, buddy. Keep it up. Keep up on the stage." Like it's really just sarcastic saying, "Get the fuck off here." It's like you're terrible. And he was telling like a big story about that. But I was talking to a buddy of mine about me doing the games. I've still only done it the one time. Still haven't gone back up. I've watched Alvy several times. I've gone up to the Caravan several times. Just haven't gone back up. But I had a buddy that did it. You know, Nick. Do you remember Nick from Bearded Guy? Went up. I don't know if he still does it, but he's kind of working with like music a little bit, and he was talking to me about it, and I was talking to him about how I had some stuff I like to work on outside of like work and school, blah blah blah, just kind of on my free time. And I was telling him how like I don't have much time right now, and like I was talking to him about this too, and I was like, I'm doing school and everything, and he was like, I'm not trying to be like that, but you're always going to be busy, and no matter what time it is, you'll always say I'll wait because I'm busy. Like I won't. I'll keep once this one thing ends, I'll have something else to do, and I'll keep saying like I'll do it next time. You see what I'm saying? So he was just kind of telling me like,
no, you should definitely get back out there and do it.
Because time's a ticking. So yeah. That's telling him I don't want to like sit here at like 30 and go, damn, wish I would have done that when I was 21, and then 40 get here and I'm like, damn, still haven't done
it. I wished I would have done comedy at an early age, but I mean I wouldn't have had some of the bits that I have now. You know, being 31, I wish I was younger doing it. Because, I mean, those people now that's been doing it for like 12 years, 10 years, and it's like, man, they started in their teens, early or late teens. So I just wish, I had a little bit more time under my belt. But, I mean, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, like when I first went up, and that was around the time Alvy first went up, Alvy was only like 18, and I'm only 21. So we were like, damn, this is really weird being the only like really young ones here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm going to tell you, Aaron Bullitt.
Yeah.
You know Aaron Bullitt? You friends with him?
Yeah.
I saw him go up several times. And how long was he been doing it? He had like a host
He
thing.
is a week before me. So I'm a week after him.
Okay.
So we're about the same 5 months.
How big of a deal is it whenever you get like a host spot? I saw he got a host spot.
What's
that really mean?
Yeah, what?
A host is like a MC spot. You're the first person up to the mic. You introduce. You do 5 minutes. 5-7 minutes of comedy, and then you introduce everyone that's coming up. And then so it's basically you're leading the show. It's kind of if let's say a comic has a bad set, where then you might do maybe two to three bits to bring the audience, funny bits to bring the audience back up, so the other person can come in and
like on the spot bits, basically kind of about their act, kind of like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, or you can like say certain things about their act, to like make it funny, so that.
Or they'll shit on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I've heard both.
Funny.
Yeah.
Shit, no, it's kind of funny
sometimes,
too.
yeah. I mean,
somebody's
either
bullets up there.
If it's like a nice shit, I don't know how to describe it.
either or you want to make sure the audience is going, laughing. So if someone goes up,
absolutely,
yeah, someone goes up, doesn't do too well, then it's your job to like bring the audience back up. It is, and you're also in charge of the light. Let's say they get 5 minutes, you're shining the light at 4 minutes. Or if they get like 7, you're shining at 6. But
right, yeah.
Typically, so, you're in charge of the light. You're in charge of running the show when you're the host.
Is a host spot kind of like a step up from an open mic? Is it kind of?
Well, yeah,
it would be absolutely. But I mean, like, so if somebody got like a host spot, would they bring out their best jokes for that one, kind of like a show, or would they kind of?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're any show you do, you would like want to bring out your guns. I mean, you want to bring out your best stuff because you don't know who's gonna be in the audience. You don't know what's gonna happen. There might be a guy who books shows. You just watching, just seeing people, and then you do your best stuff, and then he thinks you're funny, and then you potential have a booked show, booked gig, paying gig to in the future.
Yeah, it's almost smarter, I feel like, to make jokes based off like certain audiences. That way, when you get on stage and you see certain people, if it's like overly filled with mostly old people, then you know to go to the old people jokes. If you see a bunch of people like.
Well, funny that you say that. My very first show was the Tim Northern Comedy Festival, and I performed on a Thursday night at the Bardstown, and the average age in the audience was 70.
Oh, good.
And like
what, the average age?
Average age was now
Lord.
there was some younger,
Right.
but I mean,
Damn.
but there was also a lot of old people there.
Getting some laughs in before they croak.
And,
I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And I had certain material that they don't find funny. Certain jokes that they
Kanye jokes.
well, like dick masturbation jokes.
I say dick jokes for sure.
Every comic has every male and female comics have
Wee-wee jokes.
masturbation jokes, and they
Oh yeah.
Some maybe not jokes. I'm just kidding.
they did not like that at all. So that
how big was the crowd at the Tim Northern Comedy Festival?
The two shows that I did, they were good size. The shows that I seen, they was also good size.
Damn, I bet you were like shit.
Well, I mean, I was already saying shit because I had to do 10 minutes, and like I was
Oh God.
I was early
10
in,
minutes.
I was really early in, and I mean, I did it. Everything worked out. It was stressful, but the second show I did, the average age was like 40, and laughs. I mean, and I did the exact same set. So I mean,
As far as your material, do you more so like, do you tell jokes based on experiences, or do you like kind of create jokes?
90% of my jokes that I do are self-deprecating, so they're about me and my life and being awkward and
I like that. Yeah.
and my women troubles and looking like the Geico caveman. So I mean, there's all kinds of.
He said. You say the Geico caveman.
The Geico caveman. Look,
Dude, look.
the
Yes.
Geico.
I
the
wish
Geico
people on
caveman.
here could see this man. He looks like literally look up Geico caveman.
How long
and
did it
there he
take
is.
you to grow your hair?
I've been growing this for a year, almost a year. It'll be a year now next month.
I tried growing my hair long. It's impossible.
I'm
Which
doing
is
it now.
it's kind of sad because I mean I was expecting more, but it is what it is.
I hear you.
He said my expectations were far higher.
Yeah, I wanted
Growing
like a ponytail, or like a man bun, but I wanted this to be bigger. Someone said I looked like the SNL skit with Will Ferrell when he's in the hot tub.
Never seen it.
I don't know.
No, okay, well
He said, "Well, fuck me."
he's in a hot
Shit.
tub, and he's with I forgot her name, but he has like his brown sugar, his chest hair is showing, but like the hair and the beard is exactly what he has, and I looked it up like him.
You ever thought of like, aside from acting or not acting, from comedy, you ever done any like kind of like? I saw you done like some acting stuff, like on like little small things.
Yeah.
Just on Facebook.
I mean, I would like to get into doing sketch comedy and improv comedy, because that's the kind of thing that got me into comedy. I wasn't raised on stand-up. I was raised on In Living Color, SNL, Mr. Bean. I mean, Mr. Bean's just sketch comedy. It's funny. I mean, every time I watch it, I just laugh. I mean, he had so many good bits. Mad TV, not so much. But I mean, SNL and Living Color, and Mr. Bean were what got me into thinking about doing comedy.
At what age did you start getting interested in comedy to the point where you thought you were going to start pursuing it?
When I was in the 3rd grade, which was like 94. So what, 7 maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't alive yet.
That just sounds right. 7. We'll go with 7. I wanted to be a comedian. Like, that's what I wanted to be. Not a policeman, not a fireman. I wanted to be a comedian when I was 7.
I hear you.
And it took me a little bit until I did it. I mean, I forgot about it, but I mean, it was always in the back of my head. I just had to have a reminder, and then once I had that reminder, I decided, with the help of a few close friends, to push me to do a open mic.
It's definitely hard to like start that to embark on that kind of, especially with it being so different and live. It's one thing to kind of maybe record it and put it out there, and you know, if it doesn't work, you didn't have to deal with the repercussions as soon as they were heard. But you know, you've got to immediately deal with the reaction. So yeah, I can see exactly why it would take all that to get you up there.
Yeah, me and Cole were talking about, like, I'm in like a acting class or whatever, and we're watching like plays and stuff, and we were talking about like plays versus like movies and how hard it would be to, like, if you fucked up in a play, you're kind of fucked. If you're like fucked up in like a show, recording a show, it's just over. Just cut, restart. So like, yeah, comedy's pretty scary. What surprised me when I first did it was that how it's not easy to do, but how easy it is to just like you can just email the Caravan and they'll just get you on whenever they can, and you just try it. Yeah. I was like, because Albie told us, he was like, yeah, I'm going to the Caravan in a couple weeks because he told us he was wanting to do it. He's like, yeah, I just emailed them. They got me on there. I was like, oh really? I mean, everybody. I was like, no way. Yeah, there it was. Next week, I was like, what?
You was talking about plays. What's your favorite play?
I don't know if I have like an actual favorite play. We did watch The Mountaintop. You ever seen The Mountaintop? It's basically about, it's by this, I can't remember, Katori Hall. She wrote a play about Martin Luther King Jr. and he had you know what the mountaintop speech is? It's okay if you don't.
I mean, it sounds familiar, but
well, it's just basically like he just talked about like how he's seen the mountaintop and that we'll all get there, blah blah. And he gets killed the next day. I didn't know that, and he talks about how like I may not make it there with you. And then the next day he dies, which he may not have meant that, but still pretty wild. But she does a play on like he's like in this motel room, and he orders room service, and this like room service lady comes in and just talks to him the whole time, and he finds out she's an angel, and she's telling him that he's about to pass over and all this different stuff, and he's like freaking out, and then he ends up seeing all this stuff in the future, and then dies. That's over. But it was really good. But if I had to pick like any kind of play that like I like, not mystery plays. But almost like murder mystery plays would be a better way, yeah. I like those kind of plays where you have to keep thinking, and at the end you're like, oh, it was them, not them. You know what I'm talking about? I like those kind of things.
There's been a murder in Savannah.
There's been a murder.
West Side Story is, I like West Side Story.
I've seen that one like the movie. Or like the,
I like that one.
I watched it before in school.
The sharks in the jets, I like.
Plays are good, though.
I've seen like The Christmas Carol. That was good. I'm going to see Dracula on the 21st.
I will be there the 27th? 27th? Is that Saturday, 27th?
Today is the 6th. So, yes. 20th? Is that what you said?
27th?
Yeah, 27th. Yes.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yes.
That's why he's in speed school, man.
Yeah, I can do that math.
He did that like that. You know, I was like, wait a minute.
Like this, man.
A little delayed snap, you're waiting to...
that was quick.
But what's your like favorite kind of like actor? If you had to pick one, and why?
What do you mean? I want to know. I mean, I know you're not even.
If you had to pick an actor that you had to pick today, that you would be like, this is the guy. If I did something, his kind of acting is where I'm at.
Tom Hanks. I've always just.
That's an interesting answer.
Just movies that he's been in, from Sleepless in Seattle to You Got Mail. Even when he did the animated Polar Express, I mean, just Tom Hanks all the way, and he's going to be Mr. Rogers.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
See, I hate whenever I think of something, and then you both look at me, and then it just goes, "Hey, I'll see you."
But I mean, if Vince Vaughn is also like a comedy actor, comedic actor that I really enjoy. I've always loved his comedy.
I'd have to pick Denzel. Book of Eli. Seven's he's not in Seven. That's Morgan Freeman. What am I talking about? But there's another movie I just watched with him, and I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, there's a new movie. He was just saying there was a second of the. I can't remember what the name was.
Equalizer.
Yeah, that movie was so good. I like serious roles where he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and you're gonna like it.
So you didn't like Training Day?
Never seen it.
You never seen Training Day?
No.
Have you seen Training?
No.
What?
No.
He's like, you got so.
What are you millennials doing, man?
Every day at work, I'm not kidding you. They ask me, "You seen any movies this weekend?" Because I've hardly seen any of like the real popular ones. I just watch random shit and I'll just see it.
On that journey.
I just watched The Godfather a couple of days ago.
I've seen The Godfather.
You need to watch Training Day. Ethan Hawke.
See, a lot of people haven't seen The Godfather.
Did you like it? Have you seen The Godfather?
Not all the way through, but I have seen
Okay.
bits and pieces.
Dude, the ending. Have you seen when he talks with the 5 heads of the families?
No.
Dude, there's a speech he gives in that. Like, it's not like a speech, but he's talking to the other
You'd be
heads.
ready to be a fucking gangster.
Dude, it made me go, oh my god, because both of his sons died, like because of the
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry if you're gonna watch The Godfather. It's like 80 years old. Fuck you. Too bad. But so he's talking to the 5 heads of the family, and 2 of his sons have already died. One's remaining, and then another guy's talking to him like, how can I know that he won't break this bond of this peace bond we're gonna make? And he's like, aggression won't bring my boy back. It won't bring your boy back. So what's the point? And then he says this big thing where he's like, if my son happens to die by the hands of a police officer, something, and gets struck by a bolt of lightning, I'm gonna blame it on some people in this room today. But other than that, the peace will not be broken by me. And I was like, oh, but he says it much better than I just said it. But I was like, holy shit, it was so intense. I was like,
He says way better than that.
Yeah.
But
apparently, I only watched that movie because we watched. We were like going over slides in my theater arts class, and he said Marlon Brando was like the first ever actor to like really bring in like just kind of make it real instead of like a lot of actors focus real hard on like conveying an emotion instead of just being the character.
Right.
And then it'll come out with being the character. So he kind of was the first ever one to actually get into like modern acting.
that's a kind of weird way to think about it, but yeah.
And he had sex with Richard Pryor,
Okay.
and Richard Pryor ain't even gay.
He ain't gay.
He's like, that's like the biggest thing about him is like apparently Marlon Brando had sex with everybody and then just eventually had sex with Richard Pryor.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Anyway,
What?
yeah, I heard that on Rogan.
He said he ain't even gay.
You look like he ain't even gay. He just had. I wish I could. But yeah,
Oh my god. He said he ain't even gay.
dude, he's not. Yeah, he's somehow had sex with him.
How do you convince? How do you?
I guess if you never tried before and you're willing to figure out what's going on, maybe
Well, he might have been under the influence
that as well. Yeah,
of a substance.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that didn't even come out
That
until.
typically is one of the factors in stuff like that.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
he was married too. Apparently, like his wife.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Well, he like he never actually, I don't think, came out and told anybody. It was really just like
I would
his
either.
wife came out and was like, "Yeah, he did. He had sex with Marlon Brando. I knew it."
Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn, of all people to kind of come out and be your wife.
When the Godfather says he wants some ass.
God, dude, I love those kind of movies.
Oh, the Godfather.
Anytime I watch like a gangster movie, I'm convinced I've lived my life wrong.
Dude, I hate watching those movies. I'm like, damn.
Dude,
Back then it had to be intense.
The Godfather, Casino,
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, all of those. Every single one of those, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna start slicking my hair back and just fuck people up when they talk.
Yeah, you're like, well, this is it now. I'm gonna go be
Dude,
gangster.
fuck this.
It's weird watching those movies for me now because I always think of like, anytime I listen to music that's like that intense, like Kendrick Lamar talks about shit like that,
Oh,
it's no longer music anymore. I used to be when I was like in high school, like, yeah, this fucking bumps. But now you're like, this
you
is
get into
sad.
it a little bit, you're like, oh. Like, seriously, some of that shit you were in the car fucking bumping to, he's like talking about his friends dying and shit, and you're like, okay.
You ever listen to Kendrick Lamar at all?
Bits and pieces. Yeah, but not.
He has a song that's called it's probably my favorite song by him, and it's. I don't listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar either, so don't hate on me, fucking viewers who are blowing him. But
I don't give a fuck. I was
the song.
Kendrick Lamar.
What is it? It's the song at the end of it.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying
Yeah,
of Thirst.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst.
It's incredible.
The very first like verse is him talking about like his buddy that his brother got shot and Kendrick ran to help him, and he's like, you ran outside when you heard my brother cry for help, held him like a newborn baby and made him feel like everything was all right. And the fight he tried to put up, but the type of bullet that stuck, and went against his will. Dude, it's so nuts. And I was like, this is really sad. And then like the next part's about like this girl he knows that became a stripper because basically guys are shit to her, like her dad wasn't there, all this different stuff, and it's nuts.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
People don't like conscious music a lot anymore.
I do. I like music that really makes me like really think about like a different view of life that I don't get to, that I'm not a part of, that I'll never be a part of. I couldn't even fathom that being a part of my life for like.
I like books that make you think and just.
That too,
ponder.
yeah.
The Alchemist by Paulo
Dude,
Coelho, or
I've heard of that. I was looking at books the other day to read, and that was one of the books that came up with. The Alchemist.
you have got to read. I mean, I cried
What's it? Let's
reading that book.
Don't give a. Just give like
I'll give a
story?
quick synopsis. It's about this boy who has a dream about this treasure, and he finally gets the courage to go after the treasure, and then the book leads him through his book. The book leads him to his dreams. So he goes and he tries to find the treasure, basically. And there is a twist. I'm not gonna obviously say what it is. But it's a very good motivational book. There's a lot of good motivational quotes in it, but it doesn't seem like it's a motivational book. I mean, you're reading it and it's just like a story. But once you get to the end and then you realize what's happening, you're like, holy shit.
You're like, that was happening the whole time?
It was like Niagara Falls was coming down out of my eyes. I mean, I cried like so much throughout the whole book. I mean, it was absolutely fascinating. Absolutely. I mean, I would highly recommend.
Yeah.
That.
I haven't cried reading a book, but I've cried watching a lot of movies. Tons of movies. Listening to music, I've cried before.
I was actually watching a Facebook video today about how her dad died. And her brothers danced with her at her wedding, and they had a special video, and her dad's voice was dubbed in of the song, and I just bawled like a baby.
I remember whenever one of my uncles passed away, his name was in case any relatives listening, but his name was Joe Richter, and he was just kind of a big part of the family. Anytime anyone dies in our family, everyone's just like, God. Because our family was just so close.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And he had passed away, and one of my cousins named Jake, he's one of those that doesn't like to cry because he doesn't want you to see him cry. You can kind of tell. And we were sitting there, and it was the very end of the funeral, and I just lost it. Was just bawling, crying. And he looked over at me and was just like, damn it. And he just started crying. It was like, ooh. God, stuff like that just
Yeah. At some point, you gotta let that part.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get to, yeah. Cry. Some people don't like to cry. They may think there's some kind of weakness, some kind of weakness. No, just.
Have you watched a show called Maniac on Netflix? It's got Jonah Hill and is it Emma Stone?
Oh, it's on my queue.
Dude,
it's on my queue.
Listen to me. Don't do it tonight because it's already too late. Tomorrow, watch the show. Get glued in because you're not gonna move. It's fucking incredible. I think I got close to crying a couple times watching that movie or show. I mean. I watched it in 2 days. It was just fucking
10 episodes, 45 minutes apiece, and he went to work 2 days in a row and then finished the show as well. That's his part-time project.
I got done with it, and I'm going to restart it, because I just don't think I understood it, all the way, but it was, it's, super introspective, really wild.
I just finished BoJack Horseman.
I've also heard that show, haven't seen it, or a movie, whatever it is.
You have not seen BoJack Horseman?
No! Dude, I live under a rock.
You need to. It's absolutely hilarious. Absolutely, and they have just little tidbits. There would be a frozen lake, and let's say in the foreground, it's BoJack, he's talking to somebody, but in the background, it's two swans just ice skating on the frozen lake, Swan Lake. I mean, just little tidbits like that, just blows your mind. It's just so cool. I mean, there's a lot of little nuances like that throughout the whole show.
Right.
It's 4 seasons, maybe 5 seasons.
I know what show you're talking about now. Yeah. I've now seen it. I now can picture it on the Netflix queue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I want to tell him about that ridiculous show I had. It's so. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so stupid.
All right.
It's okay, but it'd be so hard.
Yeah.
All right, so, and you got to really, give it a chance. Because when I first started, people go, what the fuck are you talking about? All right, it's an animated show. I thought this 8 months ago. But, so, basically, there's, a kid growing up, and he, in the show, it's a bunch of, animated people, and they're all, basically, everyone is a certain shape. They're shaped the same, except for this one kid. So, it's kind of like a cartoon, basically. So, everyone else would be in the shape of, a square. Their bodies would be square. And this one kid, he's in the shape of a triangle, his just torso, basically. And, like, throughout the show, he'll walk past, like, mirrors and stuff, and he'll just be growing up different stuff and all this. And all his friends that are, like, everyone's a square except for him, literally everybody. And his friends start to, like, as they grow older, will start to morph into different shapes. And then as they all, like, pass by mirrors, they're still squares. So they see themselves as, like, everybody else, but, like, really they're not. You see, that makes sense now?
Most people, like, view themselves all as, like, kind of one thing.
Yeah.
Like, not unique.
And then I had, like, different, like, scenes picked out. Like, one would be when he'd grow up and, like, get into, like, high school or college. He'd be at a party and someone like, here, try this, man. Like, it was like a different drug. And basically they give him, like, a tab of, like, what would be in this show, LSD, what would be something else. And he'd take it and he'd, like, be like, and he'd, like, go into, like, this different, like, spatial realm where he'd, like, be looking at his friends and they'd be, like, 3D instead of 2D anymore. And he'd be, like, seeing, like, on the sides of them, he'd see the sides that they wouldn't let, like, maybe, like, this face he'd see, like, normal face he always sees, or talk like normal. And it would, like, swirl through and you'd see one of the sides of a cube. And it would be them saying ideas that they had repressed or, like, feelings they repressed that he didn't know about. And he'd be like, what the hell? And see all this different shit. And at the end of it, basically, the ending of the show, at the very last end of the season, would be he'd walk through, like, he'd basically be walking out of a scene almost. And he'd be, like, happy that he realized that he was, like, all along, he wasn't like everybody else and he had his own thing. He finally was at peace with himself. And it would zoom out and he wouldn't be, everyone in the whole world would be a different shape. And he would still be a triangle, obviously. But, yeah. If you get the gist of that show.
Yeah. No,
I haven't talked about it in probably months because there's no way I could even think of a way.
I mean, it's very detailed.
Yeah.
In depth. It's very in depth.
Yeah.
There's probably a show that you might have to.
That show would be so hard. Me and him had talked before. We had an idea a while back about making, like, little short clips. What was one we had? We had one short clip idea. They were so funny. I don't care what anybody says. They were so funny.
I just threw away those animations I drew.
Yeah, dude, we had one where, like, there was 2 spiders. These are just, like, 15-second clips on, like, YouTube. And, like, 2 spiders sitting there, and, like, you can see the spider talking, and in the back there'd be a bunch of smoke above him. He'd be talking about some shit that was real serious, and he'd look over and go, "Pass that roach, man." And it'd be like a cockroach, and he'd pass over and he'd go, "This is a big ass cockroach," and would just end.
Like a real cockroach.
Dude, I mean, like a real cockroach, yeah. Like, it would be stupid shit like that, and it was so fucking funny, and we were talking about it.
Like, we were gonna make one. I drew this, like, businessman, pretty much, like, with, like, a long shirt on, and his computer won't come on. He's, like, beating the motherfucker out of it, like, getting really mad. And then, like, drops his phone, like, while he's hitting his computer, just getting all pissed, and he, like, goes pick up his phone, and he looks down, and, like, next to the outlet, like, the computer's unplugged. And then that's the end.
He's like, "Fuck!" And it just pans out.
His computer and all that, yeah.
We shit like that, but dude, we looked up, like, different animation software. Like, that shit's so damn hard.
It is. It would be tough.
Like, good
But
God.
man, you're in speed school, man.
I know.
You just
but
did
still.
21 days, like that. I mean, you just did it in your head, 21 days. You know.
Well, it kind of brings back to what I said earlier. Like, if you make time, if you really want to do it, you'll make time for it.
It's just
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
get interested
If
in.
it's read the book, and then that will answer any questions you have about doing things. Just read the
Maybe that's
book.
what you want to do first, kind of read about it.
That's probably what you need to do. But a lot of people are like,
Read
Read-
The Alchemist, man. Read it. I'm telling you, you will not. You will thank me. You will not regret it.
I haven't read outside. Like, when over the summer when I wasn't in school, I was kind of reading a lot. Like, at work, I'll either be listening to music, which is the same songs on repeat all day, and then I'll get tired of that, and I'll go to, like, a Joe Rogan or Joy Diaz podcast just to, like, look through a guest. I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to hear what they got to say. So I just click on that, listen to what they got to say, learn some stuff. Or I was, for a while, I got on, like, Audible. You ever got on Audible at all?
Heard of it, but no.
It's
Audible?
it's really good. It's just like audiobooks, and you can every month they'll give you, like, I might have a couple right now. I just thought about that. Every month they give you a free credit, and that's just one book. So you can get a free book every month, or you can buy credits if you wanted to get more books. But I was listening to, like, I had one of Neil deGrasse Tyson's, like, space books on it, Welcome to the Universe. I also had that in the hard copy. Was reading that. I had, like, you know who Ram Dass is? Maybe heard of him, maybe not.
No.
He's like, you wouldn't even be able to picture this guy in your head. You're probably picturing something way different. He's just, like, a white dude that has basically, I don't even know how to describe that guy. He is, like, a really, like, spiritual, as I put into quotations, but he's, like, a really spiritual being. Like, if you listen to some of his stuff, he just talks about life and how it's some ways to get through things. Like, he's just like he's explored all languages, all different religions. And he's kind of, like, went all around the world, like, trying different stuff from different, like, tribes, like, kind of seeing how their life is and different stuff. But yeah, he's really good. Listen, I tried to get Marianne to listen to him because I feel like it'll be good for her to listen to, like, like, some of the things he says about life is just kind of like, I can't think of any examples.
He sounds like he really listens to, like, his adversaries is a good way to put it, and that's kind of cool to kind of learn just everything.
Yeah, he has a book called A Spiritual Journey. That's one that I listened to like several times. I went back and listened to it over again because it's like really nice to hear somebody talk about life like that. Like he has one where he's talking about like if you compare like your problems in the world to like putting a blanket over top of a mountain.
You sure
like huh?
You sure like?
I'm sure like yeah.
Okay.
But I'm like sure also.
Grammar Nazi over here.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
I mean grammar Nazi doesn't like all the
Diction
time.
Nazi.
But no, you should give him a listen. But yeah, I've been reading a lot of books off of that little thing. So. But yeah. Let's talk about some other shit. Now we can get off of comedy for a little bit. Let's talk about let me hear that fantasy football team.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually very interested to hear. So okay,
while you put up yours, we can give up.
I
other
just want
things.
to know how many players are in this one.
Yeah, or how many teams?
10 teams.
Okay, that's a decent one.
Okay.
So
like if you tell me you're one and you've got 8 other like it's 8 teams total, I kind of don't even care.
I was thinking about while you look at your team. We talk about sports a lot on here, and I think eventually if we did make a move somewhere that had like an NBA like team, I would get really hard into it and talk about them a ton.
Yes.
Like, I would love to get on like if I had to just do a sport. Yeah.
So I had first pick of the draft,
okay.
so I took Todd Gurley.
Oh,
It's
nice.
genius pick. Avoid Le'Veon Bell just like that.
Mike Evans,
Great.
Dalvin Cook,
Oh, he's shit on a brick. Yeah, he's on one of my teams, dude. He's shitting the brick this year.
Joe Mixon,
That'll work.
Allen Robinson II,
He's not doing bad for me, so
Marvin Jones Jr.,
That'll work.
Matthew Stafford.
not
I
bad.
had Delaney Walker, which he is
on IR.
He's now gone. Carson Wentz, he's my starter. Pierre Garçon, well he's gone now. I picked up Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
No, I still have him. Rashad Penny is gone.
Okay. Yeah. Not a bad draw.
Hold on, I'm just looking wrong. Carson Wentz, Quincy Inua.
Oh, Nunwa.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald, Todd Gurley.
How's Fitz doing this year?
Not good.
I haven't looked into Fitz really that much
But
this year.
he could he's Fitzgerald.
Austin Eckler, Vance McDonald, Joe Mixon, Pierre Garçon, Marvin Jones Jr., Dalvin Cook, Robinson Evans, and Matthew Stafford. Dan Bailey is my kicker, and I just picked up Tennessee defense because they're playing Buffalo.
Dude, Minnesota picking up Dan Bailey may be the happiest person. That's literally all we were missing.
I had Boswell. I had Boswell from Pittsburgh, and he missed like 3 extra points. Three extra points like the first couple of games. I said no, I have to get rid of him.
Did you see the Packers game a few weeks ago?
Yeah, with the rookie kicker missing the game-winning field goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
That made me want to die. I'm getting tired of every year. I swear, Minnesota has kicker problems.
But my
Yeah, that's all they have.
my team name is the Marinos because Dan Marino is the greatest of all time. I don't care what y'all say. Dan the man. I know he's
Greatest player of
before
all
your
time or greatest
time.
quarterback?
All the above.
Okay.
Sir, we're having to get a drug test after this. I'm just kidding.
all the above.
See,
All
if I had
right.
to pick actually, I can't. See, I hate this too. I can't give an opinion on best NFL player of all time because I haven't really read up on the old ones. So
Yeah, I don't know.
that's like the LeBron versus MJ argument. Hardly everybody that's arguing that, like our age, is like we didn't really. You can watch MJ highlights all you want.
I know. I think I've decided.
Who do you like in that argument?
I like MJ in the argument only just because like what's brought up to me is how different defense used to be with like hand checks and stuff like that, and just how like they talk about how much MJ drove and how LeBron kind of drives a lot as well. But LeBron's driving the lane and getting slapped a little bit, backing down Terry Rozier without like any defense. Like Michael Jordan was getting fucked.
Dude, he would get
but-
murdered.
You are-
Like absolutely like coming out of these games looking like they got their fucking ass beat.
I mean,
They literally would have fights on the court. Like if you fucked them up, they'd be like, "Hey, you want to fucking go right
And
now?"
they
And
were
they
still
just
like
slug it
all the
out.
time better. I mean, they didn't have as good like fucking training. Like the medicine wasn't as good. Like, I don't know who was talking about this, but he's like talking about like, dude, you tore your Achilles back then. See ya.
Well, the players were like different, you know, like
yeah, definitely.
Malone. I mean, Malone, Shaq, even Wilkins and Olajuwon. I mean, they're the like players were way different than they are now. So, I mean,
the style of play is a lot
it's hard to
different.
I would stick with MJ. Not the fact that I hate LeBron. I don't hate LeBron,
don't.
but I would stick. I mean, I don't even like Jordan. I don't like him, but to me, the flu game. I mean, you can't deny him playing or him, you know,
scoring 64 points.
Yeah, him playing, you know, once his dad passed away, you know, him doing the game. But then Kobe, I mean Kobe, you know, Kobe's good. You know, Kobe was a great player.
I think championships aside, LeBron will have the better career. Like if you look at our overall stats, guaranteed. That's what I'm saying. Like if you compare like careers, for sure, I feel like if MJ would have stayed longer, he probably would have had 7 or 8 championships.
Or if he never left to go play.
As I'm saying, yeah, if he never left, that's what I meant. That's my fault, bad grammar.
I mean,
but
a world we could have lived in.
And then like people always argue like back then you couldn't double team. I don't care what you say. How many times I can't count how many videos I've seen where Jordan like will have there's guys not necessarily double team but waiting.
Like,
the game winner against the Jazz.
Yeah.
Literally, they had guys grabbing him, 4 of them on him, and he still said, "I'm taking the shot. Like this is going in."
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's ridiculous.
They used to get molested, and like they were talking about how strong players' hands used to be, and I was like, "What the hell does that have to do with anything?" Talking about that handshake thing, then handshake you all the way down the court, and you're beat by the time you get there. I mean, it is. Like I can appreciate that, like that the new rules and everything, like it's not easy. But it's still, like, I feel like back then it was just a lot tougher.
Well, it's like football now. Football's getting, I understand, like, safety's a factor. Like, Rogan talks about all the time that, like, maybe not all the time, but he thinks eventually football is not, in UFC is not going to be a thing just due to, like, concussions and health and brain problems. Like, but still, like, football anymore, like, Clay Matthews getting 2 straight weeks, I think it was 2 or 3, where he got roughing the passers and he's just wrapping guys up, putting them on the ground. Yeah. You're playing football. You're going to have a risk of getting hit.
And that's what, they talk about that all the time. You know, like there's a lot of people endorsing like bare knuckle boxing now.
Really?
Yes, and that's like I'm kind of interested in that because if you really think about it, they talk about how much more surface area a glove covers, or even like a boxing glove covers, and they almost think it would almost be better to do it that way. It's definitely a lot more like blunt force, kind of right away. But I can get behind that. Rogan actually spoke on it.
Well, aren't there videos? Like, you showed me videos of people in the backyard.
Well, that's like a thing, but this is like a real, like, they're putting it together so you can...
Oh, I know, yeah, like actually regulated and everything,
yeah.
But he showed me videos on YouTube where there's people that, like, will just sit in their backyard.
System set up to where they fight in, like, backyards, like, bare-knuckle box, but
that's
they
crazy.
set it up and have, like, people grill out, make food.
It's
like,
just in the hicks, in the sticks, is this, like,
a little bit
rednecks?
Opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would figure, you know,
Backyard
country boys would
no.
be doing that.
No, changing topic. This isn't even on the list. What do you think about... So, I don't know much about, like, the Kavanaugh stuff, and I don't even really want to talk about that. I want to talk about what... Because I was at a trivia bar the other day, and...
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah. This guy across the way missed his bride-to-be.
Missed my chance with Holly. Yeah, thanks for that. Hi, Holly. How you doing?
Yeah, she's listening.
If you're listening.
Yeah, if you're listening somewhere, please hit me.
Yeah.
No, have you met her yet, though?
We're friends on Facebook.
Oh, man.
That's where it starts.
He said, step up, baby.
Yeah.
No, we need to go next time, though. It's fun.
Yeah.
But
I think Marianne's coming to my show on the 19th. So you should come with and get, bring Holly.
After this, send me all your shows upcoming that you said today, and then I'm going to put those down because I do want to go watch.
Yeah, you can bring Holly with you.
Okay. I'll actually invite her, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
You'll be like, if you've ever seen Mr. Krabs with Mrs. Puff.
That's
gonna be you.
Yeah.
I'll go on stage. Oh, how about that?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'll get a little hot there.
Nah. I don't get phased. I'll do my stuff. But yeah, you should bring Holly.
Josh Peck on the Weatherman. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That would be so damn funny.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Anyway, they were talking to me about They asked me. They go, "You're an intelligent guy. What party do you affiliate with?" And I literally said, I refuse to affiliate with either. I feel like a lot of the time, I've been thinking about this past several days. I've thought this for a while. I hate political parties. I think it's in today's day and age, political parties of Democrat versus Republican is almost getting to be the old school black versus white. Because you won't affiliate with, if you're a Democrat, a hardcore Democrat, and I say I'm Republican, no matter how much you talk to me or know me, you'll automatically assume that I'm certain things that are affiliated with that party, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
But what do you think about the political divide going on right now?
I mean, it's only going to get worse if something doesn't happen, or if people don't. One of the main things is that I feel like there's a lot of uneducated people.
I was talking to him.
This is going to sound so bad, but if there's a reason why college college is important. College is very important, and when you go to college, I mean, you learn so much about, like, not just the United States, but the whole world. I mean, you learn about everything. You know, certainly like taking anthropology
Yeah,
or
I took that last
sociology. I mean, you learn about everything. Like this is going to be a little nasty, but I forgot where this tribe is, but they have a chief, and the chief has all the wisdom, and the little boys go up to the chief, and to get the wisdom, they practice oral sex on the chief.
That's
now,
what I was thinking. Like
now,
going.
yeah. Now everyone. I mean, yes, that is sick and that is wrong. But the teacher was saying, you can't really judge because that's what they believe. I mean, over there, that is right to them. Now us, it's absolutely sick, and yes, that is sick. But that's to them, that's right. Just how people believe us that democracy is wrong. There's people in communist countries who hate us. China. They don't believe what we're doing is right. But we believe it's right. Just like we don't believe what the Chief's Kingdom is doing. It's touchy because it involves kids and doing stuff to older men. So that's just wrong. But it's what they believe. I mean, there's
if you don't know any better than and you're born to think, blowing the fucking.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that, I mean, just going to college and getting somewhat educated. I mean, you won't believe what you can learn, and I mean, it will change you. I mean, college does change people. Some for the better, some for the worse. Kavanaugh does what he does, but college does. It changes you, and it opens your mind, and it broadens your horizon. Should college be free? I mean, yeah, everyone should have the opportunity to go to college. Now, I'm not saying it should all be free, but everyone should have the opportunity to go to college. And
right.
Now I've only went to JCC. I got a associate's degree. I didn't pursue Louisville or IUS, which I wish I would have, but that's a whole different story. But
never too late.
College.
If you he said, I don't know about that.
Too late.
I mean, no, but I was telling Marianne, but one thing that sucks about college and the decision to go to college is, one, are you really is this really for you? And then if you don't know, you can't really try it because you gotta spend $5,000 to even give us some a year of trying college.
Yeah, I mean, you should at least give it a semester or two. So what were you saying over there? To you, to my left.
You said your own opinion about college.
Oh yeah, I was more so thinking about how what you were talking about, how kind of people are set in their ways. That's what they know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I always tell him if you were a fucking baby, you popped out, and I told you I pull up what we call a fucking fork, and I tell you it's a fucking spoon for your whole life.
Yeah.
You're gonna grow up thinking that thing's a fucking spoon.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
And that's how all this shit fucking goes.
Dude, yeah, he was. I might not have shown you that, but I was watching the Jimmy Fallon interview with Kanye. The one where he's like, I know you had a George Bush doesn't care about black people. What makes you think Trump cares about black people or anybody? And he just goes to commercial. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I watched that whole interview or whatever, and he ended up talking about a part that was he was talking about how when kids are first born, if a 2-year-old is screaming, he's talking about how we're all unpaid actors in this world because we're taught from the beginning some things that are wrong, which aren't even really wrong. They're just in society, it's looked frowned upon, so you don't do it. He's talking about a 2-year-old. If a 2-year-old's screaming in a restaurant, someone screams, someone teach that kid how to act. And then another instance is if a 2-year-old gets on top of a coffee table and starts jumping on it, feels like Superman, he's really up, he's really really happy he's doing this, just kind of playing around, and someone says, don't get on the coffee table. It's the 2-year-old's it's just a coffee table. Yeah. But to you, you're we put coffee there. We can do that. And it's just so the 2-year-old's all his life is what's wrong, what's right, and then he just learns based off what everybody else does.
And also, once you get to a certain point, your values is always gone by what your mom and dad teach you, because you kind of go by whatever they do, and then you come to a point where you start going by what your friends do, And then you get to the point where, you're old enough to make your own choices and your own decisions and to vote how you want. Now obviously there will always be certain things you might, ask, your mom and dad or your friends on. But once you get to a certain point, I mean, it's, your voice. You're voting this way. I mean, you're doing what you want to do.
Well, I think like I have a guy at work named Yutang. His name is Yutang Wang. Hilarious. Anyway, he's from I think he's from China. I want to say he's from an Asian country. I can't remember which one it was. It's either China or one of the Korean countries. But I think it's China. He's like super smart. Like he took 42 credit hours in one semester in college. Got like probably close to like 3.5 or better GPA with taking 42 credit hours in one semester. But he was talking about how like Western culture, like over here compared to there, is so much different. Like over here, everybody's much more judgmental and like, bless you, but doesn't like worry about themselves. Like they kind of like, I won't do something just because maybe somebody will laugh at it and say that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's really not, it's just someone put this idea in your head that it's stupid. Like one person out of the 7 billion that live here. But he's talking about like over there, like in high school, there's no drinking age. Like in high school at prom, they provide you alcohol because no one over there gets hammered like that. They just drink a little bit, get their buzz, and they're over with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just really weird.
Yeah, different culture, different society, different like everything's. Yeah, absolutely. I can travel
because
that's
I want to see other places, like see how they act and how they.
That'll also broaden your mind. Seeing different societies and how things work. I would love to go to England. Europe, I wanna visit Europe, once in my life. I want to see how.
I wish I could see the view of the United States from someone that's not in the United States, just so I could think: do we look as stupid as we sound, or do we look all right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm always so interested in like the, the foreign exchange students, like talking to them. Like I ended up, my mom's friend had like a foreign exchange student they had. And I think they were all from Sweden, like talking about the shit, like how unhealthy we eat. That's kind of crazy.
They have cartoons over there that make fun of Americans, and they just put us all as fat. But are they wrong? I mean, like 2/3 of us are overweight now. Yeah. It's kind of nuts. Like people really like, and people take offense to like me even stating that. Like if I told somebody they're overweight, and I would never just tell somebody that. I would never just go to them and go to somebody and say, "You're overweight, dude." But like if someone tells them that, they just automatically get offended. It's like it's not just your weight. It's like you're going to have health problems in the future if you're only like young age and you're already overweight, and then you gotta like go up that mountain to get back down to underweight, underweight you are. Like you're eventually, it's just like more of a health thing than it is just like calling you out and eating like absolute dog shit. I eat like shit like half the time. I'm just very lucky I have a high metabolism. But
it goes down. It goes down.
Yeah. Well, I fast now. Mine it started like last year. Like if you look at my mom has a picture of me and like when we did the composites for Vital like last year. And like you can see where my neck, like I'm not like getting like fat, but you can see where there's more like
pudge.
Yeah, and I didn't really notice it until like then I started fasting like every day, like which I only do for like I'll probably eat on a normal day from like 12 p.m. to probably like 11 or 12. So like half a day I'm not eating, another half I am eating. But after that I really started like you'll sit there and you will just feel beads of sweat going down your arm.
Oh
like,
my, yes.
He can, yeah, like
when you don't
fast,
eat, yeah,
like on a regular basis, because your body's just going to that fat brain mode where you're just sitting there and it's just like, whew, like you'll get hot, like you'll just sit there like.
I've just now started like legit. Well, okay, for like the past like 3 weeks, about a month now, I've been like legit fasting. Like I don't eat till like after I get home from work, so it's like close to 6 p.m. normally, and like I haven't eaten shit. And I'll get home, but like at work, I've always thought it was kind of hot anyway when I first got there. But then, like, over the past while, like, seriously, I'll be, like, not moving at my desk sitting and just sweat, or I'll, like, feel it in my, like, just all over me in my back, or I'll, like, lean up and my back's all wet, and I'm, like kind of, like, looking around just, like, so fucking confused. And it is. It's, like, I think it's just my body's, like, doing all kinds of bullshit. Because, like, it's almost like that every day now. I almost think I'm, like, kind of tripping out a little bit. All right. But no, it's just, like, I'm just, like, fucking perspiring.
Dude, it's seriously crazy. A lot of people do like the keto diet with fasting because you eat a lot of fats. So basically, when your body's in fat burning mode, it's burning everything you just ate because it's burning fats. So you ate like a lot of fats, so it's just gonna keep burning them. It's really weird how things work. Because I remember a buddy of mine named Nick. He's the first one I've ever heard of doing like keto, and when he told me it was mostly fats, I was like, "You're literally an idiot." I was like, "If you're wanting to lose fat, why would you eat fat?" And it doesn't make any sense. But when you scientifically go through the data and all that different stuff, a lot. It's like one of the. It tastes like one of the highest trending diets now. Like how fast it's skyrocketed in the past like year. But yeah. Anything else you'd like to talk about? We've actually hit an hour. Time flies.
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying
It's funny. I made sure I knew neither of you all were gonna be paying attention, so I was like, let's give them a time update.
No, but anything else you wanna?
We talk about more. I'm gonna talk about my mother.
But
But before we that'll be the last topic. Dylan can talk about my mother too. My mother is a nice woman. Nice woman.
She makes great chili.
I love. Does she put noodles in it?
Yes, she fucking does.
Okay.
Dude, she does make some good ass chili.
Is it spicy?
No.
No.
Not at all.
But I used to like one of my buddies' dads used to do some kind of like not like a farmer kind of thing, but he every year he grows his own vegetables and he'd grow like these peppers. Every year I go grab them, cut them up into pieces, and put them in mom's chili. So good. Have that little spice to it. But anyway, Ryan knows my mother from UPS where they work. And,
I can do his mother's mannerisms like to the fucking T, like to the T.
You do the
way she always talking with her hands.
Yes.
I mean, she's talking and she's giving sign language
Yeah,
at the exact same time. She's always, and
Yeah.
and she will go up to a stranger and like tell her whole life story.
Yeah.
Like she will tell
she'll
you,
go- she talks about-
and she will ramble. She'll
She'll go on the biggest
She will
spurt.
ramble, yeah. Like it's going one way and then she just turns left and it goes somewhere else.
Sometimes it's like the train has derailed, but the train is still going and it's trying to find its way back to the tracks. But it just keeps getting farther and eventually it finds it.
Yeah,
That's kinda how it is.
Your mom does give me candy every day at work. No, she takes back the candy, and then she gives me some.
I was about to say I'm surprised she has teeth, but she really doesn't have that many left. She's drinking Diet Coke, Diet Mountain Dews.
Oh,
all day.
I get on her ass for that.
She's like, they're caffeine free. There's don't any sugar in there or anything.
I absolutely get on her ass for that.
You ever
I drink one diet. It's either Diet Sunkiss or Diet Crush. Right?
Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain. It's
Caffeine free.
Yeah. I drink one a day, Ryan. And she calls me Ryan, like the back of a watermelon, like Rine, not like Ryan, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan.
I don't know, Ryan.
Like, I didn't notice how bad her country accent was until I really focused on it.
I
Yeah.
don't really know how bad any of ours.
And then
I know mine's bad too. I was like, someone shoot me.
And
Like,
then
I don't
that-
want to sound like that.
And then that laugh she does,
Yeah.
it just
I like when she gets real in here. Like she starts squeaking.
yeah. And
She like gets really, dude. And she's like,
yeah.
her face gets all like,
yeah,
her face becomes a 1 inch radius on her face.
yeah. That's exactly what she does. That's funny.
No, but she's
She's an angel though.
yeah, but she can be a little overbearing.
Yeah. Big
sometimes.
B.
Not as much anymore that I moved out on my own. She doesn't see me do everything I do every day.
She likes to kick my ass in poker. That's what she likes to do.
She cheats.
Cheating bitch. No.
You cheating motherfucker. No, but she's really easy to tell on poker. Like, she doesn't play the hand unless she has got something. Like, if she bets, you're like, okay, I'm out.
I've seen her doing video poker on her phone, Zynga
Yeah, I play
poker.
that too.
Fuck Zynga.
And yes,
400 million chips. I have more than her now.
yeah, and she let me do it. And Ryan, I don't want to bet that. I don't want to bet that, Ryan. I don't got nothing. I'm like, just bet.
You said you let me play or you want to take over?
Damn it, Linda.
But
No,
that's,
she's a little overbearing with Marianne still. I feel like a lot of times she should just let Marianne she should just say, do what you want. And then that's just it.
It's alright. She'll figure it out.
I try to have conversations with her, but then I do understand that it is her daughter and she's going to do whatever she wants to do because her daughter still lives in her household. I get that, yes, but there comes a time, and I told her this numerous times, you got to cut that cord. You got to cut the
She
cord.
finally did with me for the most part. It's kind of hanging by a thread.
You know,
But with Marianne, she's still kind of like, hey.
you got to let her make mistakes. Let her do things because she will learn from her mistakes and she will be just fine.
You kind of have to put yourself out of that situation. I'm not saying like.
You mean like instead of my mom lighting up?
Be in that situation, but like, I know an individual who probably shouldn't be so close to their mother, and I'm not gonna say like I talk to my mother. I'd say like quite often, but for the most part, we just butt heads on a lot of stuff. So I try and keep it pretty simple, when we do speak. So I'd say like now that I live apart from my mother, though, we like just talk to each other over the phone more, but it's definitely a lot lighter hearted than it were, I would say.
Well, I've also learned the hard way. There's some things you can't just talk to your mother about.
Well, I've talked to...
Oh,
For me.
She got upset when she found out that you like to have certain herbs in your system. She got really fucking upset. She got really upset, man. I
can't get over that.
That broke her heart. That really did. That broke her heart. But the thing is, you're. I mean, it does things. I mean,
He's a grown boy.
I'm a college student.
You can do. I mean,
I just like
within reason. You can do whatever you want. I mean,
exactly.
you don't live in our household anymore. I mean, you can make your own decisions. Now, granted, I got high for the first time.
I want to hear about that. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Oh my God. I want to hear about this.
Fuck.
I'll tell you about the first time.
When was it?
It was maybe 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Wow.
Had a
Damn.
Yeah.
How old are you?
That was the first time you've ever smoked?
Third time.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Still.
When was it? How old were you the very first time?
The very first time I ever smoked weed, I was 18.
Wait, we're talking about meth? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, heroin. No, it was 2006.
So you were like
18.
19?
18.
No, that's not bad.
And then the second time I did it, it was like 2015.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
A little bit of a gap.
Well, I mean, there was a point in my life where I was trying to be in the Air Force, and then I was trying to be a cop.
Yeah, I hear
and
you.
and,
Okay.
and then I realized that
That's not for you.
yeah, well, I tried to be a cop, but then I had to be 3 years weed free, and I was only 2 years at the time. So I was in greater shape back then, and now I'm not so much. I mean, I can always get back in the good shape, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there.
But I was at a comedy festival that I was in Bell Fountain, Ohio, and it was Friday night, and I was watching.
Is this pre go up or is this post go up?
Pre go up.
Are you about to go up?
I went up.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you did this before you went up. I was like, motherfucker.
No.
I was like, whoa.
I did it after I went up.
Okay.
After.
Okay.
But it was Friday night. I was watching Stuart Huff, and if you don't know who Stuart Huff is, you need to fucking YouTube him, because I guarantee you will fucking laugh, because he is absolutely hilarious.
Is he local or is he like?
He has a Noah's Ark. The ark that's built here. He has a fabulous Noah's Ark bit that he does, and it's fucking hilarious. So there's a vape being passed around. I got asked.
A vape or dab pen?
I think it was a vape. I mean, I'm not a connoisseur of.
Was it a weed vape or was it a weed vape?
It was a weed vape.
Okay, that was like a dab cartridge.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He
said, "Oh, good to hear."
So it was, that I was saying, no, I'm good, and then I just said, okay, I'll do it. So I did it. I kind of had to ask, Button, how you do it. So, you breathe in, hold it in again, and then let it out. So I was fine. And then he also had edibles, gummies. So I did a gummy, and then it got to the point where I did another gummy. And then me and Charlie were talking with one of the headliners, and he pulled out a blunt. So I partaked in that.
What are you doing, dude?
Well, here's the thing.
At that 4 years, let's fucking do this.
At that point, I had not felt anything at that point.
Okay, wow. Okay, I can see why.
So I did it. Then I'm just sitting there, right? And then Charlie's talking to Rob. And then I'm just, sitting, leaning back on the couch. And all of a sudden, I just start to think to myself, wait a minute. I feel something.
I feel a little different than 5 minutes ago.
And I would breathe in deeply. I can feel the THC flowing through my bloodstream.
Right.
And then I'm trying to get Charlie's attention, but he's talking to Rob, so I didn't want to be rude. So every time there was a pause break of maybe longer than 3 seconds, I would try to tap him. and then I looked at him and said, "I'm flying. I'm flying, Charlie. I'm flying." I felt like I was fucking flying. Like it was probably one of the greatest feelings ever. And then, go up. I'm walking around. Did more of the vape. I guess it was a dab pen.
More of the gummies.
And I did this time, man. I did like a hard cough.
Yeah.
And then everyone looked at me, and I said, "Hey guys, I don't do a lot of weed." And they said, "We know." And I said, "How was it?" Because I was coughing. They said, "No, you just literally said you don't do a lot of weed." People,
you literally told us.
People know. No. People that don't.
I don't do weed. Like you don't.
People
say I don't do weed.
People that do weed don't say, "Hey, I do weed." They say, "I don't smoke weed."
I don't do weed.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I had edibles. I had vape. I had blunts. I did so much weed. I didn't do weed. Weed did me. I mean,
weed did you dirty. It
done me.
It lubed it up.
There was a lot of. I felt great, and like I would be sitting down, and like it's like if you made a O with your fist, and like put a napkin over it, and then you pulled the napkin through the bottom of it. It's like it felt like my soul was trying to leave my body. Like I felt like my soul was trying to like leave the bottom of my seat. I mean, it was.
So it's just my ass. I was like, no.
And then like the day after, I still was feeling it, but then like the day after that, it was kind of like I was jonesing. It was like, I was hooked. I was like wanting to get another fix, which I mean I didn't. Which I gotta watch out because I don't want to be hooked on it. I don't want to be addicted to it because that's just how all kind of problems start. But I mean I want it. Like even now it's kind of like I kind of want to. I kind of want. Yeah, I kind of want to taste, but it's only gonna get worse if I keep feeding the. Feeding the beast.
Yeah, it's.
So what about you, man? For first time
I got high was in high school. My buddy was on here before, Chandler. We were at his dad's house. It was like this is probably freshman year, like high school, if not a little later. And I used to like seriously, like my dad used to smoke a lot, and that's a different beast to talk about. But so I used to hate it. I used to like always think that was the main source of the problem. So my buddies would do it. I'd get really pissed off at them. I wouldn't hang out with them and different stuff. And eventually I tried it. The first time I ever smoked with this dude, we go like to across the street to his neighbor's like yard next to this pond, and we smoke. We come back. I was like, Jesus Christ, we made 50 mozzarella sticks. I ate 25 of them, and literally could have eaten more. I was like about to throw up. And then we went in the kitchen and for some reason started rapping. Like we were like, dude, like we were rapping Jay-Z, and in the back of my mind I was going, "You fucking idiot, stop!" Like sober me was just going, "Stop this! You're doing something stupid."
That's what I kind of love about it, dude. I've never had more like.
Not giving a fuck.
Put my shame away.
Yeah.
And you just sit in a room full of fucking people and just like you be like, that's where I'd get I'm like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like I'll get a little anxious going in public, like real soon.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get so like I'll get stoned and go to a place where I need to be like let a little more loose, I guess is the way I'll put it, and it's like a good thing. Like when I went to the Caravan to watch, like I was baked, but like I had gone, I guess, sober when maybe it was just I don't know, but it was almost like I was more open to like really listen to whatever was being said. Like if somebody said a joke I wasn't really thinking was sticking like with everybody, I was like not laughing at it. When I was stoned, this guy went up there and does all the dad jokes that like nobody really laughs at.
What was he, a bald guy?
No, he has black hair,
dude.
But he does he'll pick like a topic and stick to that and never let go.
Are you talking about the horse dude?
Horse, duck, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's the bald dude. Yeah, he's baldish kind of.
Is he bald?
He's kind of bald.
Oh, they do horse, like they do horse
yes,
humor.
Horse humor, yes.
They have like a little book.
Was he wearing a suit?
He does this. He'll go.
Yes,
yeah.
That's yeah.
Literally, that's how he'll like,
dude.
That's
that is fucking funny. I don't care what anybody says.
No,
dude,
his horse bit, his horse bits is good. Yeah.
Doctor. Well, didn't he do one about the doctor? No, he did one about a duck.
Yeah. Kyle Stolte is that.
And he's like,
dude, he's fucking hilarious.
Like a doctor's such a quack, and you look.
And no one
that's
even if you weren't laughing after that, you'd be like, God.
That's his mannerisms. Yeah.
I love that I could let go and really kind of like.
And what's funny too is I talked to him after the shows, and he's just the same. Like when he's not even doing comedy, he's just hilarious. He's just like, "What's up, me?"
Yeah, that's his mannerisms. Absolutely.
He reminds me of a disaster movie. They make fun of McLovin, and he's going, "I'm clever." That's what it sounds like. That's what he reminds me of. I'm clever. This is random, also, but I thought about this a few minutes ago. Because you were talking about like leaving your body. Have you ever had like sleep paralysis? You ever had that before?
You want to
sleep paralysis?
Define that.
So
besides,
I've had it several times. And it's
like where you can't like wake up.
You can't move. You feel like you're awake, but you're not awake. Like shit's going on, and you don't understand why. Like somebody like it's. Oh my god, it's so scary. Well, I'm gonna tell you a few of the dreams I've had that were really fucking nuts. I've had some ones that were like my big one time. I told him my dreams, and he was like, "I don't want you to tell me those anymore because it scares me."
You go with yours because now that you said that, I recently had a crazy ass dream, and I'll say that.
These are gonna be our last topic. We'll talk about some dreams. So here's 3 of the craziest dreams I've had. Well, the sleep process thing. One time I was taking a nap before work. It only happens when I take short naps because my body knows, and my head knows that they're short, so it's always wanting to stay awake. Because it's like if I'm taking a 20-minute nap and I feel like 5 minutes has gone by, my head's going, I only got like 15 minutes, so I'm just resting my eyes. But like at my old apartment, I was laying on the couch taking a nap, and it's like the couch is against the wall. It's kind of in the corner, and I was laying there, and it felt like I was awake, but I was clearly asleep, and I was trying to move my arms up, and it was getting tougher to move my arms from the couch. It felt like something was grabbing my bicep, like being like, "No, you're gonna stay down." And eventually I thrust it up, and it grabbed me as hard as it could and put me down to the couch. The top right of the wall started getting dark, and it started like feeling like something was over top of me. I was like, I gotta wake up. And I started like going, like trying to scream, like, and I couldn't open my mouth. And I woke up, and I was like sweating. I was like, what the hell? Like, it is one of the scariest things to like be a part of, like, cause you're like kind of awake, but you're not. Your body goes into this like dream state, and then you don't know what to do anymore. You're like, what the hell? But anyway, another dream I had was in high school, and it happened again like 2 months ago. I had a dream where like I didn't really have a dream. I just kind of woke up from this nap. I thought I was awake, and it was like I was in a daze. It was like stuff was kind of like swaying back and forth. Like I was like, what in the world? And someone was standing next to my bed. No one that was home. It was like during my co-op days in high school. My sister was at work. My mom was at work. Mom's boyfriend Bobby was at work. Like. And someone was standing at the side of my bed, like just standing there straight up looking at me. And I was like trying to grab him, and I couldn't get there. I was like, oh my god, who is this? All of a sudden, all I remember is I was sitting, like laying down but up, texting on my phone, looking at Twitter. And I was like, what happened after that? I was like, I don't remember anything other than seeing that person, and they're gone. And then a month or two ago, my cousin lives with me, and I was taking another nap. I always have when I'm napping. I was taking a nap, and literally it felt like I woke up, or someone had woke me up, and they were standing behind the chair that's like to my desk. And I was talking to them about like I was about to wake up from a nap, and they were talking me back. I thought it was my cousin, and then I woke up and there was no one there. I was like, it was like I had woke up from my nap, then talked to somebody and went back to sleep, and then woke up. And later on, I went to my cousin, was like, did you come in my room and talk to me earlier? Because I remember talking to you about something, but I can't remember what we talked about. And he was like, I haven't been here. He was like, that was not, no. And I was like, what the fuck is this always happening to me? But I'm not going to tell these dreams. But I've also had dreams before where I had recurring dreams over and over, like through a month. There's a time I had a recurring dream where I had talked to my mom about it. I almost had to go to a therapist because it was messing with me that bad. Because it would happen every night over. I would see like my grandpa in my dreams and random dreams. And he would have like demonic eyes and would be looking at me like real intense. And I'd wake up. And one time I had a dream where, and my grandma would do the same thing. One time I had a dream where he was standing there. And my grandma started getting demonic, and she got right next to me and said, "Are you scared?" But in like this deep ass voice, and I was like, and I woke up, and I was like, "What is happening?" And he would occur all the time. But then the last dream that happened was like, I had talked to my dad in a while. We were going through something or whatever, and my cousin, I was at my grandma's house again, and my cousin was like, "Hey, your dad's in the back porch, wants to talk to you." And I was like, "My dad?" And like in the dream, I'd known I hadn't talked to him in a while, so I was like, "This will be kind of intense." So I walked through the back door, looked through like there's like a curtain kind of on the outside of the door. And I was looking down, like, and I could see my dad's feet with his shoes on. I was like, okay, he's out here. I opened the door. This man's not there. I was like, and it was like the dream turned from something like really nice, like uplifting kind of, to like it felt like something was missing, and it felt like something was on my back. And I was like, what is going on? And I looked back through the door, and my grandpa is at the hallway corridor staring at me with that same demonic face, and the door slams shut, and I wake up, I was like, I was sweating, and I almost had to, like, it was seriously one of the craziest times of my life. It was so awful. That was in high school.
That's pretty nice.
But that's like, I told my big dad, he goes, don't tell me your dreams ever again. I was like, yeah, no, they're intense. Back to your dreams.
I used to have a lot of crazy dreams when I would sleep naked. Like, that's when, like, my worst crazy dreams would happen when I was naked. Like, one, I was running for office against Margaret Thatcher.
What the hell?
It was like the one of the prime ministers of Britain. Crazy. My most recent one was, and this one was kind of scared the hell out of me. I was driving on the Waterston Expressway going west, and somehow, like, there's no body of water underneath the Waterston Expressway, but somehow, like, I'm going, and then I just drive.
There's no body of water under the Waterston Expressway. You didn't know. That is so funny.
The reason why I say it because I drove off the expressway, and somehow I crashed into, like, water.
Shit.
I crashed into water, right? And my windows are up, and I'm freaking out because I can't swim.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I try to put the key back in the ignition to turn on so I can lower the window so I can get out. And then when I did that, I finally when I was gonna put the key in the ignition, I woke up. You know, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking that, like, you wouldn't be able to start it, and then that's when, like, my mom has, like, a big fear that driving over a bridge and then, like, the bridge collapsing and then, like, not being able to get the windows down before the car becomes completely engulfed in water, because then you're just fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
there's, like, certain tools you can buy.
Yeah, to, like, to break the windows and to get out.
When I was on at the firehouse, we used to have all kinds of different tools to break windows. I found out you can break a window. I could break, like, a car window with a piece of porcelain no bigger than, like, I
size of this desk. I'm just kidding.
I mean, not even
like a water bottle,
like,
probably
no bigger. No, I'm
less.
talking about a piece of porcelain like the size of a marble. Smaller. Like, I could take the spark plug out of a car and a little bit of porcelain that's on that. I could throw it out a window and it'd break it.
Does that include when it's underwater?
Well, no.
I just like when you're like.
I don't know how you'd get to the spark plug while you're drowning.
No.
But
no.
Dumbass.
You're talking about, like,
I'm just talking about, like, when you're on the outside.
Yeah. Like when you're like if somebody's locked out, like, in their car and you can't get in the car.
All right.
Bust it open.
Last weird story. It's not even a dream. So we had
I got one
somebody
as well.
that went to high school with us that passed away that got hit by a train in his car.
Yeah.
And then I was at a fire training a couple weeks later, and we used his car.
I bet that was trippy.
It was really crazy.
That's kind of fucked up.
We used his car to train, yeah. Everything that was, like, on the side where he got hit, it looked like they'd taken, like, a car, just like a regular car, and it looked like the dash, like, on the passenger side and the driver's side was just all in one now. And the car was, like, one section, so there's two seats. It was really crazy.
I remember when that happened. I was like, he got hit after he graduated, like, probably less than a year after.
Yeah.
But I didn't really talk to him. I just talked to him every now and then, like, probably in middle school most of the time. Yeah. That shit's wild. He, like, basically tried to beat a train random over.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
This is the last thing I gotta talk about, and this is one of the weirdest topics to end this on. Also, another dream. I don't think I've told, like, one or two people this. It's not really anything I just haven't talked about it. But do you know what a succubus is?
Yes.
Anybody who doesn't know, a succubus is like a demon in the night that comes and has sex with you, basically. Like, it's kind of. One time, I swear I had a dream where I woke up and it felt like something was on top of me trying to have sex with me, and then I woke up and I realized and just ran away. But I can't remember if that was a dream or not. And it's what sucks is I'll wake up and go, was that real or did that just some... And then time goes by, I'm like, was that actually real? But I've either had a dream or that actually happened that, like... I literally woke up and was like, what the fuck just happened? It was like, I wasn't, like, naked or anything, but it was just weird. Weird to wake up to having sex with nobody.
Or normally that's how my weekend ends. I just have sex with, myself.
Yeah. I have sex with imaginary women as well. What, anything else you want to talk about, Ryan, before we sign off?
Unless you got something. You got something?
We talked about a lot of good stuff, so yeah.
I had a good time on this one. I'm not super into the comedy, so it's nice to get insight on it. Because quite honestly, I just don't know how I would even handle a lot of that. So it's nice to get like a view from that kind of angle.
We can end on this. well, I'll say this, whatever. The highs of going up and doing great are phenomenal. The
Probably far greater than the lows.
The lows, you feel like complete shit. I mean, you go up there and you basically open yourself for 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, and you don't do well at all. The audience doesn't laugh. You feel like complete shit, and you feel like complete shit for like multiple days. You go up and you do a show after that, and you get like the very first laugh you get, you're fucking in the clouds.
It'll replace that.
The highs are 10 times greater, 100 times greater than the lows.
Turn that into a quote because I think people need to hear that.
God's greater than the highs and lows.
There you go.
But no, yeah.
I mean, because it is like just doing it, and from my understanding, making people laugh is just like you feel so great because growing up through school, who's the most popular kid in school besides the jocks? The funny guy. The funny guy gets all of the friends. Like, I mean the funny guy is the guy who you go to. Right. I mean, the funny guy is the guy you want to be. Yeah. So for you to like be that guy, it's a great feeling.
I can appreciate that.
That would probably sum up what I would think of would be like when I think about doing comedy. That would probably sum up my aspirations. Just
I mean,
yeah.
Ultimately, to be famous, yes. I mean, that's everyone's goal in comedy is to be famous. But
basically, just get paid like good money to be able to.
Well, yeah. But for me, I mean, it's almost like I want to keep making people laugh because I legit I feel so great just making people laugh. I mean,
exactly. Like bringing the day up.
It feels amazing, just seeing them laugh because like I said, you make someone laugh, it makes you feel like you're cool. I mean, you're the guy. I mean, you're the go-to guy. Just making people laugh, it just feels amazing.
Yeah. I like that, and also like the idea of taking like serious everyday like topics and like making them funny. Like instead of it always having to be like down on something, like make it turn something funny. Because I don't like it when people like some jokes are offensive, but they're jokes a lot of the time. Like if someone like 99% of the time, most comics aren't coming at you with a joke to be like fuck you. They're coming at you to be like, okay, this is something that somebody actually thinks. Let's make it funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you agree with that? I think it should be like people should just kind of.
But I mean, there's also some things I mean you just don't say.
Yeah.
But I mean,
sure. we all know that.
When you get to a certain point, in your career, I mean, when you like make it, people might be a little bit more lenient towards the
for sure
big wigs, but like early on, I mean, rape
or
jokes,
and
like really offensive racism jokes. You don't do anything. You don't touch those.
Not like that. I'm talking about like maybe like a recent event that was kind of sad. I like those jokes.
Yeah.
When Bourdain died, like some guy went and did a Bourdain joke and was like, I didn't really like Anthony Bourdain. And from what I can tell, he didn't either. And that's hilarious. But people got pissed off about it. Like, that's just...
Yeah.
Like, shit happens. It's just funny. Like, he's just trying to make light out of a horrible situation. But I can understand people's, like, getting pissed about it. But I'm just saying, if you go into a comedy club and you know a guy that makes these kind of jokes, don't go to the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But anyway. Well, anybody wants to try the Comedy Caravan, Ryan would like you to come watch his shows. If you ever want to try it yourself, always just email the Comedy Caravan. It's a good place to start. They are.
There's open mics at Millwood Tavern on Mondays. You got Wednesdays at the Caravan. Tuesdays, Kaiju has open mics at Tuesdays. Thursdays, the Comedy Collider is hosted by Kate Sedgwick at the Bardstown. Kate's a very, very funny comedian. And Friday, like all this month, in October, every Friday, Frank Nitty's Music and Comedy Club, they're having comedy. So a lot of really great local comedians are going to be there. I was there last Friday, and yesterday, a lot of great local comedians will be there throughout the whole month. So that's something everyone should check out.
Yeah, tons of places to try it out, tons of places to go watch, go support your local comedians.
Yeah,
support your local everything, really.
Yeah,
support your local people.
Comedy, support people, and then, yeah, please.
Yeah. But, yeah. Tell them your shows.
Tomorrow at the Louisville Art Sanctuary, I will be going on at 3 o'clock. And then you can catch me again at the Butchertown Pizza Hall at the Caper Street Bar, which is above Butchertown. I will be there the 7th. No, at 7 o'clock is when it starts. And then the 19th, which is going to be a really, really big show. Everyone wants to try
2 weeks from yesterday.
Look at you, numbers.
I know, dude. I'm getting that math down.
Rain Man. It's a really big show. It's the 19th at 8th Street Pizza in New Albany. Me, Leslie Battle, which is hilarious. Mike Chandler, hilarious. And Charlie Walker will be there. Will be your comedians. And
19th,
it's
right?
The 19th, yes. 7 o'clock. It's a 18 and up show, so please come out.
All right. Well, on my behalf, I would like to thank everybody who has listened for listening and anybody who will listen as well. But other than that, that'll be it. I appreciate it.
Yep, next guest will probably be Brian Alvey, another hopeful comedian, also car salesman, you know. But he's our buddy. He'll be the next one. Ryan will be on another damn sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody take it easy. And we'll see you next time.